Welcome to another episode of the OC Podcast. I am your host, Ricky. On today's episode, we're going to continue on with watching the OC Season 1, Episode 24, The Proposal. As always, I am joined by my co-host here, Kenzie Ricky. How are you today?
I'm good. I can't believe we're so far into it.
I am not.
24 episodes?
It's pretty crazy to kind of think back. It's like, man, this was just a text message that turned into a podcast, which is it's fun, it's a blast, I'm having a great time, and like the continued support from everybody, it just
Yeah, like I can't believe people listen to us somehow work John Hamm into this, but I'm thankful for it.
Exactly. Like it's so good to me, right? It's something that we've enjoyed, we've had fun, and then people support, like even our good buddy Jeremy coming with the fun facts every week. Like we appreciate that. You know what I mean? So
love it.
I do too. Very, very, very interesting episode to say the least. Like I said, season 1, episode 24. We're gonna go ahead and dive right in. It has an 8.1 rating on the old.
Is that the same as last week's?
8.0 last week. It was actually approved.
Oh,
it's our.
Look at that.
Yes. Are you ready for the synopsis?
Yes.
Engagement announcements are joyful news, right? Not when it means the one person Kirsten despises will become her stepmom, and when Marissa will have a new family arrangement she doesn't want.
Spoiler alerts in this.
Massive spoiler alerts.
Like, come on now.
Like massive spoiler alert, right? You know what I mean? Like this is, yeah. So
I don't get it.
I didn't even know where to begin. I get so frustrated with the spoiler alerts though, right? Don't you? Like,
yeah, it's too much. Like, they need to be like brief, not like here's every single thing that happens in this episode.
Yeah. It's one of those things that's never made any sense to me whenever we do these. Like last week's was it was okay. You know what I mean?
It was like, you know, yeah, it wasn't bad.
They didn't give anything away. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I feel like they kind of, I mean, I like the idea of this episode being called The Proposal, but like the synopsis could have left out everything about the proposal, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Anybody could have gotten married. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know, the selection of people was very, very small. But so we kick off the episode. We open up in the movie theater. Remember what those are?
That's exactly what I wrote down. I was like, I miss the movies. I miss it so much.
Yeah. That was the first thing I saw, and I'm just like, I am really, really heartbroken right now.
The way Marissa and Seth were crying is the way I feel on the inside. I wonder what movie they were watching. They never tell us.
No, they don't. I wish they would.
And it looks, because it doesn't look like a real, like closing thing. But
Seth is crying. Marissa's crying.
It's like a Paris background.
Yes.
Marissa's crying, Seth's crying. I like that they're being overtly like cautious of Marissa. Like Ryan's like, oh, well, we shouldn't take you to see sad movies. And she's like, I can handle sad movies. Like,
super
and
defensive right away.
At first, you're like, okay, this is like weird. But I love that they're leaving the theater, and as they're leaving, they're like, Marissa, what do you want to do? Marissa, what do you feel like doing? And they're being like overtly like, whatever Marissa wants to do. And Marissa can't take it.
No.
Marissa is like, absolutely no, guys. She just blurts out that they don't have to be so careful with kitty gloves around her because the guy she lost her virginity to has sex with her mom. She screams this in public. Everyone stops and like looks at them. It's hilarious. So they decide they're gonna go to Jamba Juice. But while they're walking to Jamba Juice, we cut to Jamba Juice presently, and Luke and Julie are meeting up. Julie blocked Luke on AOL Instant Messenger. Hilarious.
I died laughing whenever she said that.
Luke is like, I have to tell you something that I couldn't
Yeah.
say over a text or on the phone. And she's like, I don't really care. And then Marissa and the gang walk up and
I said the
them.
fearsome foursome is what I named.
Yeah. So Marissa's like, as she's saying, she's like, I'm okay. You guys don't need to be like this. Sees them. And she's like, I'm not okay.
Yep.
We
spent the first couple minutes of the episode preaching that she's
Marissa's okay.
And then boom.
But I like that she's just like, absolutely not. Like, fuck this. Like, walks away. She's like, can't do it.
If you're gonna meet,
don't meet in public.
Just get a hotel room again.
Yeah, like I can't do this. It's so poorly planned on their part.
Ryan is pissed.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go find Luke and kick his ass. And Seth's like, have you tried looking in our backyard?
Because guess who's
Luke
arrived?
Luke is walking up. He comes to tell Seth some news. He's like, listen, it's not what it looked like. My dad is moving to Portland because the divorce has settled and I'm gonna move with him.
Yes.
Like, I was trying to tell Julie, I want to tell Marissa.
Yep.
Myself, most importantly.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, can you guys help me make that happen? And Ryan's like, I don't know, man. Like,
not a good idea. Like,
yeah.
This is not a good idea at all.
No, not at all.
I don't understand it, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
I understand, like, they've been a part of each other's lives for so long, but like, think about what you just did. Like, just, like, message her and be like, hey, like, I'm sorry for everything I put you through. I'm moving to Portland.
Somebody in this episode pointed out, right? Write her a letter or something like that. Like,
yeah, because that's what Anna did for Seth.
Yeah.
It's what Oliver did for Natalie. In the kitchen at the Coens, Sandy is getting excited because his restaurant is opening tomorrow.
The entire show.
But he's like, I have to expect the worst. It's a Coen family treat.
Yeah.
But they're having a soft opening tonight. Jimmy shows up. They have a secret handshake. I
love it. Literally, this, and it's so over the top.
Yeah, it's like there's
a lot going on in
there's a lot going on.
So much going on.
Haley walks in like her hostess dress because I guess they skimmed over the fact that she did get the hostess job. Right. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess that's what happens when you're sleeping with the boss. You know what I'm saying? On the down low.
That's true. Because I was like, are they? But they are.
Yes.
She's like, do you like my dress or do I put the hoe in hostess? Sandy opens a letter saying the liquor board has repealed their liquor license.
Yikes.
Sandy takes off and he's like, this is why I expect the worst because the worst happens.
This is literally the worst. That's the worst thing that could happen to this restaurant opening.
Kirsten like leaves to go find Haley's shoes or something. I don't know. And so Jimmy and Haley are like alone in the kitchen and they have like a moment.
Yes.
But Kirsten comes back really quickly and like kind of catches them. Like they're not doing anything, but they're very close. They're very flirty. Like you can tell.
Yep.
She doesn't say anything.
Something was going on, right?
Yeah, she doesn't say anything. She just kind of looks at them. It's a weird moment. I don't know how they're not like shit. Like this is bad.
Yeah, and they kind of just played it off a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, he's like, "Can you believe this?" Like,
yeah.
But I'm like, bro, your livelihood is dangling away from you. Can you please, like?
Yeah, keep it in the pants, bro.
So we transition to Summer, who will not leave Marissa alone. She shows up at Marissa's dad's apartment.
Yep.
And is like, what are we doing today? And she's like, well, Ryan invited me to lunch. And she's like, that sounds fun. Where are we going to lunch? Like, what's going on? She's like, oh, my phone's ringing. I need to go answer it. And she's like, okay. And she like follows her.
grilling her. Just I love it. And I do love it. I do like it a lot. You know what I mean? I do
I
like
like it, but like relax. Like
yeah.
she just give her some space. Like I don't know. Like as long as you know where she is and somebody's making plans with her, like she's fine.
Yeah, I agree.
But Summer goes into Marissa's room, which is like completely like
Oh my
there's so
God.
many boxes everywhere. There's no furniture.
How long has she been here?
I
A couple
mean, at least
months.
since Christmas.
Christmas, right? Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
That's just
Um, it's
awkward.
brutal. So Marissa's like, "Are you coming to lunch with us, Summer?" And she's like, "Do you mind if I stay here and watch TV? My stepmom is on painkillers and crazy." But we all know Summer's up to something.
Yep. Which is
Ryan, yeah, it's fine. It's cute once we get to it. But you just don't trust her at this point. You're like, is she putting like a camera in the room? Like,
all right, where she can put one of those little teddy bear cameras. Or were those even around back then? You know what I mean? Like
probably not.
No.
Probably not. Those nanny cams. Oh my god. So Ryan is trying to talk Marissa into speaking to Luke. He's like, you don't need to forgive him. Just talk to him. But he's trying not to be like, Luke is moving away.
Yes.
But she's kind of like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that. I don't care. Like, he's out of my life. Like, that's it.
I don't want to deal with it. I'm not wanting to.
Ryan is like really close to her, and he's like, you know what we haven't done in a long time? And then they kiss, and I'm like, did we just like skip over Oliver and all of that drama and like now they're back together?
The biggest fit ever about.
Yeah. I mean, I would too if I were Ryan. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, obviously. But I just felt like it was weird. Like you're trying to hush the moment.
There's been no conversation about any of the drama that's unfolded between them. And it's just like, I don't know.
Very weird. Very weird.
So we cut back to where Summer has brought Seth to Marissa's apartment. And she's like, look at this room. Like, she can't live like this.
No.
And she's like, this is reflective of her life. So, like, if she's miserable and then she comes home to this, of course she continues being miserable.
Which
is true.
I mean, I get that, right? You know, she wasn't wrong. You know what I'm saying? I did agree with that statement.
So they're going to the hardware store. Seth is not excited.
I put it right here. Seth is not enamored. Like he was just like, this is not the idea of what Seth wanted to do for the day or the month or the year. This was not it, right? You know what I mean? Far from it.
It's wild. So Sandy is working at the restaurant and someone from the liquor board comes over. And he finds out that the reason their liquor license got revoked is because the new commissioner was a client of Jimmy's and had to come out of retirement because Jimmy gambled away his life savings.
Ooh, man.
Very brutal.
I will say this. Let me be honest.
Deserves it.
It's pretty shitty. But I probably would have done the same thing, like 100%. Like, man.
I feel like if he got the money back, I'd be like, you're ridiculous. But he didn't, and he was retired and had to come out of retirement. And I personally, at 28 years old, can't wait to retire.
Yes.
So I'm 29. Wow.
So if I had to come
right over that, I would lose it if I had to come out of retirement.
Oh my God, yes. So
I would lose it.
The reason I had to retire is now opening a restaurant to thrive.
Well, to be fair, he should have been like, dude, I'm trying to make restitution and I can't do that if you're doing this to me.
Yeah, but I think Sandy even knew because like Sandy wasn't even going to allow Jimmy near the situation at all to be even remotely, possible at,
discussing it,
right? Yeah, because if Jimmy shows up to talk to this guy, this
guy's gonna punch Jimmy in the face.
Yes, Jimmy's gonna. Yeah, exactly. Deserving music probably too.
Yeah. So we cut
Which is
back
another
to
reason
Jimmy.
why Haley and him don't work. I know that's not something to do with it, but it's true. Like it's you have to deal with your old shit first.
Yeah, you can't go into any relationship, let alone a relationship with your best friend's sister.
Yes.
Um,
Your
if
co-partner,
you're
your
messy,
partner, your yeah.
like you need to have your affairs in order.
Yeah, that's the
You
word.
need
There
to
it is.
be
Yes.
at your best before you can be in a relationship, because like if you're not at your best, you can't bring yourself to that relationship.
Preach, sister, preach.
Yeah, like
this is a
I
relationship
just
podcast now, baby.
apparently,
Let's go.
apparently,
Oh, I love that.
because you know so many people are dating during quarantine.
Exactly. Yeah. What is
So we cut to Jimmy's apartment where Ryan and Marissa are like on, like they are making out. Like they're not like pretending they're a new couple. Like they're back together.
Which also goes to show these two have never been friends and still haven't been friends. Like
will never happen.
It's maybe happened for 10 seconds.
So the doorbell rings and they're like, he's like, is that Jimmy? And she's like, my dad has a key to his own apartment. Like, it's Caleb. And he wants to talk to Marissa alone. And Marissa's like, you know what? Ryan and I have no secret. It's so awkward. She's like, Ryan and I have no secrets. Anything you need to say to me, you can say in front of him.
I was like,
I was impressed, but then I was actually more impressed that Caleb was like, so he's important to you? And she's like, yes. And he's like, okay, so Ryan can stay. And I was like, okay, Caleb. Like,
even though she just said that he was going to stay, now it's like, yeah, well, he said he's important, so all right, fine. You know what I mean? But I guess it was kind of like he was like, not,
So he drops a bomb. He's like, I'm going to propose to Julie.
Hold on. Caleb first says, your mother is a wonderful woman. And then Marissa goes, she is? Question mark.
It's hilarious. But I like that he just like cuts to it. He's like, I'm going to propose to her.
Just completely out of left field.
Yeah. And he's like, I know we haven't spent much. Who knows? And he's like, I know we haven't had a lot of time, like spent a lot of time together. And she's kind of freaking out. Like she's not saying anything. She's just like, and Ryan doesn't want to tell Caleb what has just unfolded, but he's like, we've been through a lot with Julie the last couple of days. Can we let her have some time? And he's like, well, no, because I'm proposing tonight. Which, okay, can you explain this to me? He's proposing at Julie's ex-husband's restaurant opening?
I feel like that's such a dick move. Nothing like trying to be, well, I mean, it is Caleb though. He wants to be the star of the show all the time because
that's very
who
true.
Caleb is. So, and he feels like this is also his restaurant opening as well because his money's going into it.
That's true.
I feel like, he's.
But I'm just like, whose dream proposal is if their ex is there?
Right.
I just don't get it. So when Marissa's like, well, I guess there's no stopping you.
She's just like, whatever.
And he's like, correct. And then he just like leaves.
Just bolts.
Very weird. And then Marissa's like, I don't know what to do. And she seems genuinely just like distraught.
Yeah.
And Ryan, out of left field, is like, you could just tell him the truth.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm like, okay, I don't know if that's really the right move, but sure.
I don't exactly. Like, I don't really know how to handle this.
But I kind of get it because she is like backed into a corner. Like, what is she supposed to do? Like, this isn't like in the morning where it was like, well, she's dating Caleb. Like at this point, like Caleb deserves to know and Julie deserves to be stopped.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
So it's a weird situation. Speaking of weird, Luke is just at the Cohen's house waiting for Ryan.
Just chilling.
Like just waiting.
First off, we already know that there's no rules going into the Cohen household, right? You know what I mean?
Apparently, like you just go as you please. Like, yes. Very weird. So he is like, did you talk to Marissa? Yeah, I hate this. He's like, did you talk to Marissa? And he's so angry at Ryan for not making this work. Right. And he's like, I can't just leave without saying goodbye. And I'm like, just call her and say, I am moving.
Right.
please just let me say goodbye.
Right.
Like, we've had this lifelong...
Instead of being...
like, why is he blaming Ryan? Like, this isn't Ryan's fault. Like,
Ryan didn't sleep with
Julie
Marissa's
Cooper.
mom.
Like, I don't understand.
Ryan didn't... Wait, hold on. Ryan didn't cheat on Marissa. Ryan didn't cheat on Marissa like the way he did with her friend. Ryan didn't beat up Ryan multiple times, even though she asked him not to. Like, the list of what Luke has done to Marissa is quite long, including
it's very sensitive.
Sleeping with his mother, like with her mother. I mean, like,
it's ridiculous.
Yes.
I hate it, and this is so like not the way I pictured Luke being, and it's so weird.
Yes. Oh my God, this moment.
Yeah, I hate this. So Seth and Summer are unpacking all of Marissa's boxes, and they find a yearbook, and Summer's like, I love yearbooks, and sees that Seth was in the comic book club alone, was at the sailing club alone, the film preservation club alone, which I would have joined.
Same. Just
a lot of Seth alone. And she's like, was I really mean to you? And he's like, no, that would have required you to speak to me.
I wanted to cry, okay?
It was really sad. Like,
Kenzie, I wanted to cry in this moment. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I felt that when he said that, like, because
then he followed it up and he's like, that would require anyone to have spoken to me. And I was like, shit. Like,
it broke my heart for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was really sad.
It was so sad. Like, so sad. Like, I wasn't okay. I was not okay after this moment. But yeah. So
it was just brutal. So Kirsten comes in the kitchen. She's all dressed up, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy's like, you look beautiful. And he's in the same t-shirt he was in this morning. He's drinking. He's like, I cannot get this liquor license done. Like, he's like, I think it's done. And she's like, well, you can always ask my dad to lean on the guy. Which is weird because I'm like, the person that he would use to lean on the guy is Uncle Sean. And Sandy just found out about all that, as did Kirsten. So I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, absolutely not.
100%. 100% against it.
So they're still having the soft opening, which is for their friends and their family. So we show the outside of the lighthouse and it's popping.
Yes.
But someone is popping some beer bottles in their car in the parking lot, and it is Luke.
A drunk Luke has arrived.
Super, super drunk. But inside, party is going well. Everyone's getting food, and then Marissa's trying to talk to Seth, and he's like, what are you talking about? I don't know, like, what's going on? Like, because he can't keep a secret to save his life.
No.
And then him and Summer are being really weird.
It's just a cute dynamic here. Like,
it's so funny.
They're kind of like signing to each other.
And then Marissa is like, I thought Seth couldn't get any weirder. Like, so it's so funny.
And then Ryan goes, I didn't think it was possible.
It's so funny. Kirsten and Haley are sitting at the bar, kind of having a moment. And Kirsten's like, well, how's your love life?
Oh, man.
And Haley's like, I'm not seeing anyone. And then she's like, look at Jimmy. He looks so happy. And she's like going on and on and on about it. And it's a bit too much.
A little much.
And Kirsten 1000% notices.
Oh, she does. And the thing about it is she has like those love eyes, like the googly eyes too.
Yeah.
Oh, she's talking. Like, it's not like she's having like the full blown conversation. She's got the full on like infatuated.
That's my significant other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's too much. It's way too much.
Nana Cohen's meatloaf is winning.
Yes. And Jimmy's Jimmy's so excited about that Sandy Cohen's mom's meatloaf is kicking his mom's meatloafs, but
because remember we talked about this, we weren't sure if both were going to be on the menu or not.
But they are.
But they are. So it's pretty cool.
I'm like, after the soft opening, will there only be one?
Right. Whoever won the opening night, that was going to be the
meatloaf winner.
The meatloaf that was going to be continuous.
But so Sandy's like not explaining to him why they don't have their liquor license. But he's like,
Right.
enjoy tonight. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Like, just enjoy this night. There's not that many nights like this.
Yeah, we're gonna try to figure this. Yeah.
And I'm like, what could be more awkward? And then Luke decides to leave his vehicle and come inside. And while this is happening, so they show Luke leave his truck, and then they show
Oh man, this moment.
Caleb is making a speech, and I'm like, oh my god, he's doing it. Praising Julie. Like, this is the love of my life. This woman is just so incredible. None of this would be possible without this woman. And I'm like, really? Julie sees Luke.
Yep.
And Ryan's trying to get Luke out because like he's worried about Marissa. Like, that's his main focus. But then Caleb proposes, and Luke is just devastated.
The look on his face is
only topped by the look on Sandy's face. Sandy cannot believe it. Like, Sandy is like, what is happening? Like, it's hilarious.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. I didn't even realize like anyone else's reaction because Sandy just looks so shocked. Kirsten's like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
And then Luke just like storms out.
Oh man.
And then okay, so Marissa runs out after Ryan and Luke. And Ryan's like trying to get Luke's keys. And he's like, don't drive, like let me drive you wherever you need to go. And he's like, nobody cares about me. Like, and then he drives off and he almost gets an accident while he's driving away. And Marissa's like, why are you choosing his side? Like, why are you going after him? He's like, I'm not choosing sides. Like, he's drunk. He shouldn't be driving.
He's got a good point here.
And she's like, but choose me. Like, be on my side. And I'm like, I get it. Just not right now, Marissa. Like, he could put other people at risk.
Yeah, like, it's not like it's a battle of a he said, she said. It's a battle of two people literally trying to do the right thing here. And it's like, you know, he's heartbroken. We understand why. But Ryan just wants to
make sure nobody else gets killed or anybody gets killed.
Yeah, he doesn't want
So, but we cut back into one of my favorite moments. Kirsten is mad, drinking at the bar. She's like, I can't believe Julie's gonna be my stepmother. Like, what is this? Like, she's so mad. And then it's so funny because she pours champagne in her glass and finishes the bottle. And Sandy's like, well, I didn't want any. Like, sure, thanks for offering.
Yeah.
And then she's talking. She's like, Jimmy, why aren't you mad? And she like gives Jimmy all these reasons he should be mad. And he's like, give me a drink. While he's behind the bar, by the way. Like, he's the one behind the bar.
Yeah.
And then Sandy's like, no, I think it'll be good for Jimmy. Like, she'll be out of your hair. She'll be Caleb's problem. She's not your problem anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Summer and Seth are like painting and being all cute. I love this so much. She's like, you need the stud finder. And he's like, that's you, Summer. You found the stud. It's hilarious. It's so cute. I just like them being like happy because the rest of the episode is like chaos. So I just
everybody else is freaking out across they literally left at the best time, right? They left the party at the best time.
Just perfect timing.
Yeah.
But so Luke is at some parking lot overlooking the ocean, getting drunk, listening to Bob Seger, leaving voicemails, just crying. It's not good.
Okay. I've got an issue with this particular scene here.
Yes.
Okay. So obviously the phone call comes in. Right. We're talking to Ryan. Okay. As they're talking, why did Marissa not get on the phone?
Yeah, I don't get that either. It's
like that was the big one for me, right? You know what I mean? Like, she could have gotten on the phone, and when they got on that's who we wanted to talk to, right? Am I right here?
Yeah, like she could have really easily mediated the situation.
Right, yeah, she could have been the one that talked him off the ledge.
And Ryan is just like, nah, I don't know, it was weird. I didn't like it either. Okay. I hated it. And we all know that he's listening to Bob Seger because that's the music he and Julie did the deed too. Yeah. Oh, it's so cringy. I hate it. But then we see that Luke hangs up and he
Mhm.
calls Julie
Yeah. Uh,
and he's gonna go see her.
yeah. Not the smartest
Oh.
things that he's done, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, he hasn't really done anything smart in what, 2 or 3 episodes now, I would
Yeah.
say. You know what I mean? He hasn't exactly been on on a tear as of late. But I just
Speaking of poor decisions,
oh,
Sandy asks Caleb for a favor.
mm,
And Caleb knows that Sandy won't put Jimmy in a spot where like Jimmy has to find out about this.
yeah.
And Caleb's kind of like a dick about it.
Mm. Oh, he
But
goes.
that's Caleb.
Because he says to him, he says, uh, he says, I need a favor, and then like he automatically gets like sassy, and he just no. He says, I just want to hear you say it again. Like Caleb's on cloud 9 right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He's
'Cause
like, I can't believe you're asking me for like a
yeah.
favor. And then he's like, I helped you. And he's like, I want to hold that over you. Like, I don't want you.
I don't want you to be able to hold this over me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
So then Ryan and Mercer are driving and they see an accident and it's Luke
Yeah.
who got in a pretty bad car accident.
He looks rough for wear.
Yeah, so they show them all at the hospital, and Luke's dad is saying that they should all go, that he's out of surgery, but he's going to be passed out for however long. Summer and Seth take off, but Marissa and Ryan stay. Which I like. It's nice.
Yeah.
But also, like, he's asleep, like, and you're not immediate family. They're not going to let you stay, so you're going to have to stay in the waiting room. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly.
But then we cut to Sandy, who actually tells Jimmy the truth. He's like, listen, the reason we don't have our liquor license is because you screwed over the new commissioner. I think he handles this really brutally. Like, he just, like, lets him have it, and it's kind of mean.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just step down. I don't want Caleb to help us. Like, but he's like, if you step down, then this isn't like our restaurant. Like, this is just bad.
Everything that we wanted it to be is no longer going to be that now, because
if they had just planned out like a business plan, like this wouldn't be happening. I'm just saying.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I agree with you. 1,000% there.
So Luke's dad tells Marissa and Ryan, like, he's awake, but you guys should go.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he's fine, but you guys should go. He's not really like up to visitors. And she's like, will you actually tell him that like I'm here and I want to see him? And Ryan's like, cute. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. Look at you being a grown up.
So speaking of people not being grown-ups, we cut to Kirsten with Julie, and Seth is in the background, and I don't know how they get to the discussion, but they're talking about that Luke got in an accident and Julie had no idea. And Kirsten's like, he was on his, like, he was coming towards this direction, like from the party.
Right.
And she's like, it's so unlike him. And I just like the way Seth like responds to it. Like, yeah, it's so out of character for him. Like,
she for real like gives him the like
stink
I mean he gives her like the
like,
business
you did this
in a way that he didn't really say anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like one of those kind of moments which I was like appreciative, because Seth wasn't going to say why, obviously, but he didn't let Julie off the hook there, right?
Yeah,
I was very happy with that.
So Caleb comes to the lighthouse and is like, I couldn't get you the liquor license. And they're like, why the hell did we ask you for help? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, sits down there nonchalantly like it was
like, I don't think he tried, obviously.
No.
So he says, one man's misfortune is another man's fortune. We should have a talk. And that's all we kind of see of their conversation.
Which we come to find out what the conversation was really about later on. But
with an unlikely person in that conversation.
So weird. I agree. Like, for me, I don't think Caleb ever had the conversation. Caleb took this
Yeah, I don't think he
opportunity.
did either.
Took this
For what
opportunity
he
to
wanted.
exactly, yeah, for sure.
So Marissa's talking to a pretty banged up Luke.
Man, he looks
Um,
terrible, doesn't he?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
really bad. But she kind of ends up forgiving him.
Which,
And
do you think that she forgave him for the moment?
yeah, I think just for the moment. I
Because
wouldn't
he's
forgive
laying
him for
there
everything. He's in a hospital bed. He just had surgery.
yeah,
Like
he
he looks
still
rough.
slept with your mom.
Yeah,
By
like
the way,
no way.
yeah,
Um Him and Ryan have a moment talking about how he's moving to Portland, which is very close to Seattle.
yep.
But he's like, "Welcome to Portland, bitch." It's hilarious. It's just so good.
So good. It's
Um,
so funny. Yes.
it was a great moment. And
Oh,
then it's followed by a terrible moment where Marissa actually goes to Caleb. And she's like, "There are some things about my mom you need to know."
yep.
And he's like, "I already know." He's like, "I know everything."
And does he though?
I think he does. I think he has people that tell him everything. And it's not like Julie and Luke were really hiding anything.
Yeah.
And she was probably using a credit card for the hotel. So
True. True.
probably
Yeah.
very traceable.
And the thing about Caleb though, Caleb doesn't care, right? You know what I mean? Like he.
Yeah, because he's all about like image. And if like he found out he can control the narrative.
Yes, very much so.
So Marissa went there under the guise of like breaking up the engagement.
Yep.
But then Caleb is like, "I offered to buy your dad's failing restaurant
Yep.
for millions of dollars.
Yep.
So I can either do that and you can move in with me and your mother because that would make her very happy. Or I can say, I don't want this restaurant anymore and leave your dad out to just hang, like basically, like have nothing."
Like I feel like he went a really aggressive approach here. And like she
She's
didn't
a
even
teenager.
negotiate.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been like, all
He
right,
is,
fine. Yeah,
you'd just be intimidated by his stature and like everything he is.
yep.
And
Agree.
it's very unfair. Like she's a teenager who's gone through these traumatic experiences.
Oh, 100%. And that's the big thing is I don't I mean, I think he took advantage of her. Obviously he does. Obviously. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Obviously. But he knows how weak she is. And
Yeah.
he knows how much she loves her dad, right? In the grand
Yes.
scheme of things. Obviously she went and moved with him. So I really feel like he kind of preyed upon that.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
where
brutal. This makes me like, this is where you really start to like actually hate Caleb, not just be
yeah.
like, "Oh, he's a
He's just
dick," but he's
that's
just
just
there. But
yeah.
like this is vindictive and he's preying upon a teenager and I don't like it.
Yeah, not at all.
Um but we transition to a beautiful moment
Very.
where Ryan and Marissa go back to Jimmy's
This question,
and
does
she's,
she tell Ryan?
I don't think so.
Because
But I
whenever
can't tell because it kind of seems like she does.
but I think that's a little deep, and Ryan wouldn't be. I don't think Ryan would be on board. I don't know.
Ryan would have just gone to Sandy, to
Right,
be
he'd be like, hey,
honest.
yeah, I
He
agree.
would
That's
have
what I'm saying.
known.
That's why I
I
think
don't
that he
think
didn't.
I think she just told him like it didn't work out. Like she might have just been like he already knew and doesn't care.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Okay.
So they're back at her dad's place. She's like, "I just want to go to sleep." And then they hear a thud from upstairs. And it's
Oh,
Summer and Seth fighting. And they go up there and her room is like a mural of the movie they saw at the very beginning.
so
It's so cute.
it is. I
They
loved it
don't
so much.
yeah, it was so sweet. They couldn't find her a plastic horse. They got her a Care Bear.
Yeah, the
It's
Care
a
Bear
very
still
happy,
is
yeah.
you know.
It's a very happy ending to a very traumatic episode.
Yep.
But I loved it. I'm really jealous of her bedroom.
It was like, and it was so sweet because like you have this a whole entire episode where she's kind of like Marissa's kind of the punching bag, and the last couple episodes have kind of been she's been the
Yeah.
punching bag, and you know at the beginning of the episode to the end of the episode it was yeah. I do
It was
love
like personal stuff for her. So it was just brutal.
yeah I do love Ryan being funny Ryan again, not giving up on how he knows
The
what
Care Bear stare.
is.
It's like, how do you know this, Seth? Like, what's going on? Like, please explain.
And then like they start talking about something else for a minute, and then he
And then
asks
he's
him
like,
again.
no, please explain. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny. All right. MVP.
I went Marissa. I think, I don't know. She could have, it's probably the same reasons you did her the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
She could have reacted very poorly to everything, but she kind of handled it all with like more grace than I assumed she would.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Who'd you go?
1000% went Summer.
I love that.
I mean,
she was actually a good friend this episode.
Right. Yeah. This is the first time we've ever seen her be a good friend to her. But like,
I think I would have done her if she had been in the episode more.
I can see that. I just feel like between the beginning,
she had good moments with Seth. She had good moments with Marissa.
Yeah, and I feel like between that and then you have the, being there for Marissa and then rebuilding rebuilding the room for Marissa.
Yeah.
I just felt like that was the reason why I went that way. Yeah. Fun fact.
Good one. This is the first episode of the entire series that's directed by a woman.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, she directs a lot of TV shows. So, Helen Shaver. But we love to see it. I hope there's more in the future on this series.
Promising a Woman. What? We didn't talk about Promising a Woman the whole episode. I figured I could throw it in there. Yeah.
If you're into female directors or, just good movies with good directors, check out Promising Young Woman.
I do want to say RIP to the book.
Oh, no. I still have like 9 pages left in this one. I have one more episode probably.
I have 1 page left in this one, and that's not going to be that'll feel like the first 3 minutes. Sometimes I take like a lot of notes.
Yeah, this one I didn't take as many as I thought I would, but the last one I did.
Yeah, but season 1, episode 5, all the way to episode 24 in this book. So,
great.
RIP to that book. Thank you so much again, guys, for listening to the show. I mean, like we talked about it last episode, but Kenzie and I are having a blast. Like, it really is awesome to kind of go back and watch a show that I watched as a childhood and talk about it in, these days. And then people listen and support
the show holds up.
It holds up really good. You know what I mean?
Minus the whole Julie Cooper is a child molester, if we want to get into that. Probably not, but she is.
Yes, 100%. But guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode. Make sure to give Kenzie a follow on Twitter at KenVininu. Give myself a follow at RickyViller_. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.